Hi, this part of 5.07 practice test is writing equations. Here we're given 2 points, 1, 8, and 4, -1. We want to write an equation given those 2 points. But first, in order to write an equation, we need to find the slope. The formula for slope is m equal y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 1, 8 is the first point, so that's x1, y1. 4, -1 is the second point, so that's x2, y2. We're going to plug those into the formula. So we get -1 minus 8 over 4 minus 1. -1 minus 8 is -9 over 4 minus 1 is 3. -9 over 3 is -3. So our slope is -3. Now that we found the slope, we want to use this formula y minus y1 equal m times x minus x1. That's point slope form of an equation. And you only use one of the 2 points. You use the slope that you just found and one of these 2 points. It doesn't matter. I'm going to stick to the first one, 1, 8. So we use m is -1 and the point 1, 8. And all you plug in is the y1, the m, and the x1. This y and this x stays as x and y. So y minus y1, which is 8, equal negative m, which is -3, times x minus x1, which is 1. That's point slope form. Had we used this, we would have had y minus -1 equal -3 times x minus 4. Still the same equation. Now that we have the equation written in point slope form, we want to write it in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is when we have y all by itself. So what we want to do now is simplify the right side and then get that y by itself. So we're going to distribute -3. So -3 times x is -3x. -3 times -1 is +3. So we get y minus 8 equal -3x plus 3. Now move that 8 to the other side as minus, so add it. So now we get y equal -3x plus 11. That's slope-intercept form of an equation. So here we have point slope form. Here we have slope-intercept form. And point slope form means you can actually see the point and you can actually see the slope. The slope is -3 and the point is 1, 8. Slope-intercept form, you can see the slope and the y-intercept. The slope is -3, the y-intercept is 11. We also have equations that are in standard form. Standard form, we have x and y on the same side of the equation. There can be no fractions, and x can never be negative when we have standard form. So here we have an equation y equal 1/2 x plus 5. That's in slope-intercept form, and it has a fraction. So we want to get that into standard form. First thing we need to do is move the x to the other side of the equation. And I left x out. We want to move that x to the other side of the equation. It's a positive 1/2 x, so we're going to subtract it. So when we subtract it, we get -1/2 x plus y equal 5. Now, like I said before, we can't have fractions with standard form. So our denominator is 2 with our fraction, so we're going to multiply 2. So we multiply 2 by everything. So 2 times -1/2 x plus 2 times y equal 5 times 2. So 2 times -1/2 x, we get -x. The 2's cancel, and you're left with -1x plus 2 times y is 2y equal 2 times 5 is 10. Now you cannot have a negative x in standard form. So we just want to multiply everything by -1. -1 would change every single sign. So when we do that, we get x minus 2y equal to -10. This is standard form. If you have any questions on writing an equation, please contact your teacher.